The Symbolist art movement began in the late 19th century and was a reaction to realism and an extension of Romanticism. Symbolist painters did not like to be restricted by reality and painting only what was in front of them, which is why they were sometimes viewed as a rebellious group. Symbolists enjoyed blending fact with fiction, reality, and mythology. Symbolism originated in France in 1885 and had a relatively short reign of only 25 years, ending in around 1925. Although symbolism didn't just end in 1925, many artists incorporate symbolism into their art to this very day. Some notable symbolist painters during the movement include Fernand Comte, who painted the Caress using oil paints, Carlos Schwabe, a German symbolist painter who painted Le Mort de Fausseur, which translates to the death of a gravedigger. The artist we chose to focus on was Gustave Moreau. Moreau was born on April 6, 1826 in Paris to a wealthy family. Moreau was said to be heavily influenced by Romantic painter Theodore Chassereau, who also happened to be a close friend of his. Moreau enjoyed painting ancient civilizations from the past and bringing them to life with mythological creatures such as angels and unicorns. You can tell by the use of dramatic lighting and vibrant colors that Moreau was influenced by Romanticism, notably Delacroix and his friend Chassereau. Chassereau died at a young age of 37, which upset Moreau greatly. Feeling unhappy, Moreau set off to Italy for a year after Chassereau's death in 1957. There he studied the Renaissance time period and ancient architecture of civilizations such as Greece and Rome. The combination of his friend passing and his trip to Italy heavily influenced and changed his style. Mythology had interested Moreau from a young age, and as a child he would usually be found reading mythological stories in his parents' library. Moreau always knew that he wanted to be an artist, and his parents encouraged him to do so, and set him up with a neoclassical painter and instructor, François Eduardo Picot. In 1892, at age 66, Moreau began teaching at the École des Beaux-Arts. Some of his pupils included Marquette, Matisse, and Moreau's favorite, Rouault, a French Fauvist and Expressionist painter. Moreau was quoted saying to his pupils that I am the bridge over which certain of you will pass. Moreau's art was admired in his time, but largely ignored until about 1960 when people started to become more interested in symbolism. The piece we chose to analyze by Moreau is Europa and the Bull. In this painting, the Greek god Zeus takes the form of a white bull and is abducting the princess Eupora. The composition is divided diagonally. On the bull's side, the colors are more subdued and earth-toned. In contrast, the princess's side, where the colors are bright and vibrant and surreal. This piece was completed in 1869 using watercolor. And in this piece, the Renaissance influence is clearly evident, especially when you look at the woman. There's a strong sense of movement in the picture, and it almost looks like the bull is about to take flight. We found that symbolism overlapped with many other movements, especially surrealism. Both symbolism and surrealism depict visions from the artist's imaginations, and often have hidden meanings within them. Since surrealism emerged after the Symbolism Movement, we have reason to believe that the Symbolism Movement heavily inspired the creation of surreal artwork. Both of these movements are extremely similar to each other. Some other important symbolist artists are George Frederick Watts, a Victorian painter and sculptor. Pierre Puvis de Chavannes, a French painter who became the president and co-founder of the Société Nationale des Beaux-Arts, and whose work influenced many other artists. Arnold Böcklin, a Swiss symbolist painter. Henri Fantin Latour, a French painter and lithographer. Bertrand Jean Redon, was a French symbolist painter, printmaker, draughtsman, and pastelist. John William Waterhouse was an English pre-Raphaelite painter who is most famous for his paintings of female characters from Greek and Arthurian mythology. Félicien Rops was a Belgian artist and printmaker in etching and aquatint. Mikhail Vrubel is usually regarded as the greatest Russian painter of the Symbolist movement. Franz Stuck was a German symbolist / Art Nouveau painter, sculptor, engraver, and architect. Overall, the Symbolism art movement was a very important time. It showed the world that paintings can often have more than one meaning, and that artists can paint more than just things that they see in their everyday lives.